Hey, listeners, it's Kate. Thank you again for tuning into Earful, a Disney World podcast. We certainly have an exciting episode for you this week because guess what? It's time for annual Passholder and cast member previews. And then we're recording today on July 11th, which is the first official day of Disney World being reopened. So first, we'll go over our question of the week. What is the proper way to pronounce Caribbean? Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? We're also going to talk about which rides we think will have the longest wait times once the parks fully reopen. We will also talk about Epcot's new Taste of Epcot International Wine and Food Festival, all the safety precautions taking place throughout the parks, some new merchandise, including a Funko Pop for Jungle Cruise, and a possible remake of Peter Pan starring Jude Law. Our newest episode begins right about now. Welcome back to another episode of Earful, a Disney World podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kate.
And I'm one of your hosts, Patrick.
Who has been playing at
Chomping at the bit.
He's been playing at the keyboard to his right while I set up the podcast equipment. And I actually realized what you were playing. That was very good.
Yes, thank you. It's one of the two songs I know.
So it's Billy Joel's.
And So It Goes.
And So It Goes. And what's the second?
It's the Bugs Bunny song. Bum ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 bum.
That I could argue that's not Bugs Bunny.
Well, yes, but I played the Bugs Bunny version.
I would say that everything you play is sort of a Bugs Bunny. Yep, that if you could even hear that. Oh, it's like that one piece that everybody learns when they're little with their knuckles on
Yes, sure. Yep. Well, I have taken us off the rails in a record time.
Nothing to do with Disney right now, but this is an exciting week. It's a week of trepidation, a week of anxiety, of excitement, just because that today, Saturday, June 11th, is the first official day that Disney World has been reopened to the public.
Wow.
They've had some cast member previews, some annual pass holder previews prior to this date, but today is the first day the public is back. And when the annual pass holder dates opened up, we saw a lot of media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram about people's experiences in the parks, and we're going to get to that in a second. But first, we have to talk about the question of the week, which was, how do you properly pronounce Caribbean? Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? Or like Patrick liked to point out, I had a little typo. I thought an uppercase L, an L was an I. So in the one image we put out, it said Carl Bean.
Carl Bean.
So now I kind of want Patrick to create a new character called Carl B. Bean.
My name is Carl Bean.
And I think that he should work some of the rides and tell his experience.
Carl Bean.
Carl Bean, who works the Pirates ride. That's our
Nobody pointed that out. I kept waiting all week for somebody on Instagram to point out. It looks like
an I.
It looks like Carl Bean.
Carl Bean. Yeah, go look at that. So on Instagram, saw_ni said, they said, okay, my illogical logic, Pirates of the Caribbean, but Caribbean Beach Resort.
Yeah.
So two ways. And I believe
that's what most people do.
Person said too.
I believe that's what most people do.
And so Emily on Facebook said, when talking about the ride or movie, I say Caribbean. She phonetically spelled it out for me. Thank you. Caribbean. Caribbean. Yeah. Caribbean. Carl Bean.
Carl
Bean. Well, there's just actually, one more thing before I get started. It was that somebody left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, but did not leave their name.
Did they say anything?
They did not leave.
Just 5 stars.
Yeah, they didn't leave any words. It just left 5 stars. I didn't even know that's a possibility.
Very nice. Thank you.
But they did that. So there's just too much to get to. Let's go to the parks. Governor DeSantis in Florida has extended the emergency order for another 60 days, which seems weird considering that Disney World is full steam ahead.
Right. Well, and the other podcast I listened to, the other Disney podcast, the Disney Dish, they talked about how really Disney World will be the cleanest place in Florida.
It has to be.
It will be.
It has to be. If this experiment is going to work, they have to be working around the clock at sanitizing.
Absolutely.
Even sanitizing their sanitizers. Even making sure that their wet wipes have wet wipes.
Yeah, that's right.
Their Clorox wipes have Clorox wipers.
Clorox wipes, yeah. No, they were saying that it will be the cleanest place in Florida, which I believe that is true.
And taking that into consideration and thinking about how they have to clean off the rides after every ride and after every ride car comes back, allears.net had a great article this week about which rides do you think are going to have the longest wait times given the social distancing efforts.
Well, you have to take in consideration the park attendance as well, because if they only put 10,000 people in Magic Kingdom, you're not going to be waiting for any ride. Even if all 10,000 people go to one, they'll move it through pretty quickly.
Let's just say that there's a chance that there could be a lot of people. Which rides do you think would have the longest wait times given the changes that they've made?
Peter Pan.
Did I have Peter Pan on there?
Peter Pan. Because Peter Pan always has a wait.
I don't think I had Peter Pan on there.
I think when they open the park, they say it's a 30-minute wait for Peter Pan.
I know, but that's not what was listed. And you're going to figure out why as I read them. So this is the list in no particular order. Splash Mountain, just because they're loading every other row.
Ugh.
And there's only 4 seats in a log. And plus, now that it's going away, eventually, people are flocking there. Jungle Cruise, because of the slow load time. And they've already installed plastic barriers in the boats. So that's the reason why that would take forever.
Here's a good question of the week.
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise. What new jokes will they make based off the coronavirus?
I don't know.
What cringeworthy jokes will they make now? I don't mean for you. Just something to throw out there.
Don't the natives wear masks?
Probably now they do.
Or talk about how the guy up the pole trying to get away from the cheetahs or whatever it is, he's practicing social distancing.
It's the rhino, I believe. The rhino.
Something like that, yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Another one on the list was Mickey's PhilharMagic, because they are going to load every other row in the theater and leave 3 seats in between. So think about when we get in there, and one of our pet peeves is whenever we sit down and they say, move all the way to the end. And do people do that? No. So now we're going to add 2 more rules to that. It's going to take forever to get them seated in the proper way.
And I'm sure it's three seats in between each family, because they're not going to make the family split up between 3 seats each. So it's going to be like this family and then 3 seats and then this family. I'm sure that's how it's going to be. Yeah,
probably. They also said Mine Train simply for popularity. Over in Epcot, they said Soarin' would have a long wait time because you'd have to get rid of one of the rows, and that would be row B. And then in between, in the individual rows, you're eliminating maybe 1 or 2 seats.
What are they going to do about the Carousel of Progress?
Probably eliminate every other row.
Oh, boy.
I mean, that's such a packed ride anyways. It's one of our favorites.
It is.
They also said Test Track, because they're saying you're only going to get 1 car per party. Rise of the Resistance, they said because of popularity, but we do have news on that for this week. They reinstituted the boarding groups. We'll talk about that in a second. Smuggler's Run, they're saying they're going to put 1 party per tour, per outing.
And then in between, they're going to have to sanitize completely.
Oh, my God. They should just come up with some sort of vapor that comes through the cabin.
I think they should just throw a bomb in and just
a bath
sanitize.
bomb.
Yeah, a bath bomb. We talked about that before.
Shake the cabin.
Yep.
Get it all nice and clean.
That's right.
They also said Tower of Terror, because, again, like in Soarin', they have to skip row 2, and then they can't have parties together. Safaris, same idea. Skip every other row. Flight of Passage, maybe they'll do every other bike and perhaps eliminate the pre-show. And the same thing goes for
How are we going to get matched up with the correct avatar? If
they just know.
Oh, boy.
The technology has advanced.
All right.
And then, you can just fly.
Don't know why you're so proud of yourself for that one.
It's the pre-show.
Oh, okay.
We love that pre-show.
Right.
And the last one they mentioned was Dinosaur, which is Patrick's least favorite ride, saying that they will also eliminate the middle row.
They should just eliminate the ride. That would be helpful.
I agree it's dated.
Yeah.
I agree it's dated. Yeah. I still like the ride. Now, interesting, couple of things. Disney resort guests started seeing new availability with the park reservation system, where they had previously saw that the parks were quote unquote sold out because they had been reserved. They are now starting to see new availability, but this is only for guests that are staying at a resort. So
Which
now,
is us.
We're not. All theme parks have availability on every July day they are opened, save 1 day at Disney's Hollywood Studios, including all 4 reopening days.
Wow.
So it's like they banked them and then they let them fly. They are not using fingerprint scanners at the front gates.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They have discontinued them for the time being. And then the crazy thing was literally 2 days ago, 2020 tickets and resort reservations this year went back on sale.
Does that mean we can get a refund for our tickets?
Well, hopefully they'll process our order from May. We still have not gotten any word on that, which is very frustrating. But if we wanted to try to go this fall, which we won't, we could possibly get tickets and a hotel.
Which we won't.
Mm-hmm. And then one more thing about safety. Masks are required, obviously, but neck gaiters are not allowed. Those are the sort of shawl-looking things that you can hike up above your mouth and ears. But the reason why they are not allowed is because they do not have ties or loops to keep the mask up.
Right.
That's why they need masks. Now, over in Epcot, they have decided that they're going to go forward with both the Flower and Garden Festival and the Food and Wine.
At the same time.
They're going to combine them into the Taste of Epcot International Wine and Food Festival.
Yeah, they were all set up to go with the Flower.
Oh, sure.
They were all set to go just before this thing shut down. So whatever is left, whatever has survived the heat of the summer, that's what's going to be available.
Yep. And so this will be the longest festival ever because they have combined both, sort of.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree.
What's the longest festival?
The Lion King.
Oh, there's a Festival of Fantasy. That thing goes on forever.
Yeah, that one too.
The Festival of the Lion King.
Uh-huh. What is that? Does that sound familiar? What is that?
It's my Rafiki.
Oh, be prepared.
So over at Magic Kingdom, from what we've seen from, like I said, the preview days, they have high touch point areas roped off in the park, which means those are the areas that, like in the Mine Train ride, where you can interact with the gems and the little interactive games for children. They have ground markers in place for social distancing. Cast members are sanitizing ride vehicles after they return. And Splash Mountain had the longest wait during cast member previews.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. There was something I was going to say about that, and I forgot now.
There's more to say on that later about Splash Mountain, but
there was something about.
We'll save that for the merchandise section.
Can't remember.
Character cavalcades began, and it was really kind of surprising in a great way because there were some surprises. So the Royal Princess Processional makes its way down Main Street, which is one of the 5 character cavalcades that goes throughout the Magic Kingdom at random intervals. One of the surprises was that they saw characters riding horses. So Merida from Brave was riding Angus, who was her horse in that movie.
And not people dressed up as horses.
Correct, yeah. Wow. It wasn't 2 people put together.
Wow.
Gaston also was seen riding a horse. And there was some really funny...
What's Gaston's horse name?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think it's ever mentioned in the movie.
All right.
To the internet later. So, and they said that at some point they also saw characters on the barges that were floating by on the river down there. Sad.
I know what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say we saw a live stream video this morning, and of course, on the first day back with people, it was pouring rain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we saw Touring Plans was going live on Instagram, and they were stuck in the gift shop, very central in Animal Kingdom, right outside the Tree of Life, and it was pouring, and the gift shop was pretty dead.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like, well, where is everybody else if it's raining?
Yeah, in the tree.
Must not have had a lot of people there.
Ant life.
The Haunted Mansion, unfortunately, has eliminated the stretching room. That is going to be skipped for now. So it's pretty much obvious that a lot of pre-shows are going to be eliminated. So instead, they have stanchions inside the stretching room, which is already pre-stretched, and you walk through straight to the next
if they were
room.
Smart, they would speed up the dialogue so you wouldn't be able to. You'd be able to get that fast.
Yeah.
No doors, no windows. Ha 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 ha.
No, in Munchkin voice.
That's right.
Hello, welcome to the Sport. You can leave my way. Ha ha. Next room. That would be really great. Mm-hmm. Jungle Cruise, like we mentioned already, the ships have plexiglass in place to keep people apart. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Seven Dwarfs in the queue. Not only have they marked off the interactive areas, but they also, as the queue goes along, they have up clear plexiglass.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Over in the Animal Kingdom, the Discovery River now has a cruise for characters. You can't ride it, but the characters can. And people saw floating on barges. They saw Timon, Rafiki, Minnie, Mickey, and Pluto. And they said that they also saw Minnie, Mickey, and Pluto walking through the park, greeting people without...
The real Mickey Mouse?
The real live Mickey Mouse.
Wow.
Lots of mice just scurrying through the parks. Flight of Passage instituted a new barrier separating guests in line. The safari was plexiglassed up to high heaven. They had plexiglass everywhere, in the queue, on the car, the truck, whatever you want to call it. Now, Cali River Rapids is interesting because it's a water ride. So people were like, oh, can we take our masks off when we get on the ride because it's water, we don't want to get them wet. Nope, the masks have to remain on. The water cannons and the elephants are not being used, and cast members are sanitizing rafts every 2 hours.
Huh.
How about
Interesting.
that? Even though it's a water ride, but yeah, that's. I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah, I wish they would sanitize the rides more often because
They probably will have to after this.
People pee on that ride.
Now let's talk about some merchandise. So this is a big one this week, and the reasons being because, the big one is Splash Mountain, and we're going to get to that in 1 second. But that is the big topic in this section. They are now using virtual wait lists for gift shops. So remember how they had the virtual queue for Rise of the Resistance? They are sort of using the same thing for entering gift shops. You get to a gift shop, and there's a sign out front that says, text your number here, and then you'll get 2 texts back saying, return at this time. And that is when you can enter the shop.
Are you going to talk about what you saw this week?
What do
the
you
photo
mean?
You saw?
Which I'm getting to that.
Okay, well,
I'm getting to that. So this is what happened. During annual pass holder previews, people were buying Splash merchandise by the bag full, and I'm talking 3 and 4 bags per person, seen walking out of the park just stuffed to the brim of plushes, of Funko Pops, or even just regular merchandise, because the thing is, nobody can get there. They want to be able to buy the merchandise from this year to say, I got 2020 merchandise. Now, here's the fun part. Fun is the wrong word, probably. They're appearing on eBay for a high markup. It is against Disney's policies for annual pass holders to resell items on eBay because they already get a discount.
Oh, boy.
So if they find out you're reselling their items, you can have your annual pass revoked.
I said good day, sir.
Get them. That's what I say. Because now, you have the Funko set from Splash Mountain, which was $50, is now like $150 or $200.
Yeah.
It's just not fair. And I think that's a horrible practice anyways. And they're getting in there before everybody else, and they already have a discount. So
Shame.
sure, Disney doesn't really care, though.
Shame.
Once they sell it, they don't care. But then I heard that they were starting to find some people to.
Well, there's a lot of Disney employees right now looking for a job, so that would be, hey, sit at home and look at people on eBay and turn people in.
Yeah. Now I want to know who'd be willing to actually spend that money to buy the set of Splash Mountain.
There's tons.
Oh, of course.
There's tons.
Of course, yeah. Speaking of Funko Pops, there is a brand new Funko Pop that is coming out today, July 11th. It is the Jungle Cruise Funko Pop, and I believe that is available on Shop Disney.
What exactly is it?
It's a picture of a boat. Come on over here. It's a picture of one of the Jungle Cruise boats, the Congo Queen with a little skipper in the front. It's really cute. Now, it would not be an episode of Earful if we didn't talk about Loungefly bags, as we've been talking about them the past week.
Is that our new sponsor?
Well, one of our listeners, Lindsay, has said that she has 5 Loungefly bags, 4 which she bought during COVID. And she said they need to stop. I'm buying way too many things. They need to stop coming out with cute stuff. Sorry, Lindsay, there's more cute stuff coming, because not only is there a Cinderella blue dress or Loungefly bag this week that was super beautiful, they also have Hocus Pocus Loungefly. There is a backpack and a wallet. They are pre-ordering now. Shipping is going to be in October, and it features the 3 sisters and Thackeray Binks.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
He pressed the button.
Because I don't care about Loungefly, so that was my contribution.
I got something you're going to care about, though.
I'm all ears.
It's the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. So there is a very special
40th?
Han Solo in Carbonite Funko Pop.
40th?
40th.
How am I old?
And it's $12.50 at Hot Topic. Hot Topic.
It's not the same thing.
Not the same thing. Now, when you go online to buy these new items from Shop Disney, it's sometimes really hard to get them because they sell out in a matter of minutes. So Shop Disney is instituting a brand new lottery system for early access to pre-order items. So one of the hot items coming up is a Frozen castle or Frozen ornament, and they are going to be having the lottery signups very soon for that. So if you're looking to get that, you have to take part in this new
If I'm going to play
system.
the lottery, it's not to get a Funko Pop or a what is it called? A lacra bag? What were they called again?
Loungefly.
Loungefly.
Lacra bag.
I'm not doing that. I'm playing the lottery to win millions of dollars. But whatever. That's
This
cool.
is not the same kind of lottery. This is to get the chance to buy it.
Yeah, you have the same chance of winning
Ahead of people.
as you do as winning the $1 million.
Yeah, ahead of the crowds, the mobs. So that's I don't know. That's pretty
Right,
awesome.
that's cool.
Let's talk about transportation.
Please stand clear of the doors.
So Skyliners are going to resume July 15th.
That makes sense.
And like most rides that you're hearing about, it is going to be only one party per gondola.
That makes sense.
So that will also be a long wait. And believe it or not, it's time for Disneyland and Beyond.
Disneyland and Beyond.
Patrick now is saying it along with...
That's right. I mouth it along.
With Captain Jim's lovely sound effect. I feel like we got through this really fast today.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And we'll have even more news next week as the public starts rolling in. Like we said, we only had the few preview days to kind of go off this week, but it was still exciting to see people's videos and pictures. And if you're going or are going in the next couple weeks or months, please send us your photos, your experience, call us, leave a voicemail. We'd love to hear about that kind of thing. But there is going to be a new Peter Pan remake. Remake City.
Okay, hang on a minute. You're talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Not the ride.
No.
Okay. Talking about the movie, is this going to be live action or is it going to be animation?
I believe it's going to be live action, and
They've tried this before.
they are possibly going to have Jude Law play Captain Hook.
Oh, it's not going to be John Voight? No, it wasn't John Voight.
Yeah.
Was it John Voight?
No, it was Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken, same
Christopher Walken. You know, I thought the same thing for a minute. I'm like, yeah, it was John Voight. No,
No, it was
they're
Christopher
the same
Walken.
person. It's not going to be Christopher Walken. That's about all I know, though, about... Yeah, he had like the cowardly lion vibrato.
Yeah.
Oh, it was an awful... Except for Christian Borle from Broadway fame.
Yeah.
He was his sidekick in that movie. Universal Studios is set to get $5 million from Orange County. So Orange County commissioners approved a deal to give Universal Studios the money in order to offset the cost of relocating an old pipeline that currently runs through the site of the upcoming Epic Universe theme park.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're going to get a little help from Orange County.
How much did you say?
$5 million.
To move a pipe?
A cool $5 million.
To move a pipe.
A cool $5
All
million.
right.
And last but not least, Ulta, the beauty company, has released a Harry Potter line of goods. This includes sparkling lip gloss, lightweight pigmented lipstick crayons with a matte finish, pale pink pygmy puff jelly blush, along with other Diagon Alley supplies, face masks, makeup bags, bath bombs, body lotion, eyeshadow palettes, and a lot of these are for your specific Hogwarts house.
Did you hear that?
What's that?
Did you hear that sound? As you were talking, I heard it.
I have a guess as to what it is.
What is it?
It's my wallet opening.
It's the bank account. It's a bank account screaming in pain.
I already love Ulta, and now I love
Yeah.
Harry Potter. So this is a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
How much do they cost?
I didn't look at prices, Patrick. I don't want to put
Prices don't matter.
I don't want to put a price on my happiness.
Oh, boy.
That was a quick episode.
That was it?
That was it. That's all I got right now. I thought I had a lot, and then like you go through and talk about it, and then you're like, I should have gotten more.
No.
But here we are.
There's tons. There's still tons coming. I mean, you know, we are still living in this, and it's still happening, and
We are.
it's going to just still round one, and I mean, we have a long way to go with where we are right now. But the fact that the parks are open is a very welcome change, a very happy sign, and I just hope and pray that people can be smart, and that people wear their masks.
And follow the rules.
Follow the rules and
Be polite to cast members.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Please.
Let them do their job.
And you know, I hear a lot of, my own mother included, people say things like, I can't believe they're opening. How dare they open? It's like, well, we either like don't try to do anything, or at least try and see like how it goes and then make improvements upon those things.
We also are in a very teetering predicament with our economy. We are the world global economy. We can't fail. We can't shut down and collapse. So we need to be able to come up with a happy medium.
And I know that if you're like me, like the one place I've been thinking about constantly during this time has been Disney World, because it's one of my happy places. So I think, you know, when this is all over, I want to go back there. So any sign of life found there is exciting to me. Yet, you know, I still approach it with a very strong sense of trepidation, just because it is thousands of people in one place at one time.
Well, quite honestly, 6 months will tell us quite a bit. 6 months will tell us whether we have vaccines that we can use, or whether this is going away, whether it's going to be around
That will
forever.
be next January.
And how well the parks are managing, and how well people are coming out of the parks feeling. All of that's going to be pretty plain and clear. If Disney's not doing their job and people are getting sick in the parks, that we're going to know that in the next 6 months.
Absolutely. So, like we said, Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Thanks for the review.
Yeah, whoever you were, thank you. Number 15. We're hoping to get to 20. If you have been listening to our show for a while, we would love it if you could go on Apple Podcasts and leave us a small review. The best and most creative reviews get read on the air, so there's that incentive. And apart from recording this every week, I also love responding to you all on, like I said, the social media accounts. So look for our question of the week, which was, what social distancing jokes will the skippers add to their repertoire on Jungle Cruise?
Yeah.
And maybe
dad jokes are appreciated, yes.
Yeah, the more dad jokey, the better.
Yeah.
Because we're just trying to keep this lighthearted right now. So thank you again for listening. This has been a short one, but you can go spend 5 minutes right now looking on Twitter and Instagram for the people that are currently in the park, all their media that they're sharing, which is wonderful. Keep it coming. Have a great week. Stay safe and healthy. We'll see you next time. Bye.